Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pete W here, and we're here for another round of the Misfits Racing League. Round 3 today, and it's our first sprint of the season here in the desert at Qatar. So we are on the grid. We're going to be getting racing. We're going to be getting racing in about 5 minutes. And it is, like I said, a sprint weekend. So basically, how we're going to do this is it's reverse championship order. So drivers with the least amount of points will be starting at the front, and the championship leaders will be starting at the back. Now, after last week's race, that puts Apple at the back after his splendid win, followed by Billy. And then Red Bull will be third, Zach fourth last, Max fifth last, Ayrton sixth last, Mills seventh last, El Humoro eighth last. And then we've got a few drivers who are still yet to score points. So Dave, Big Davla, Slipstream. Who else do we have? We have got Slipstream, Big Davla, Bokes, who is new to Saturday Night Racing, I do believe. Yes, he is. And yeah, I think that's it. So drivers will be setting their strategies, their setups and then their strategies. And based off of that, based off of the results of the sprint, we will then have our grid for the feature race. And we are ready to go. Straight into it. And down to turn 1 of 20 for this 10-lap sprint. Every driver had selected to go onto the medium compound tyre. I think the smart choice. Bokes outpowering Slipstream into turn 1, and we have got some movements. Max getting past. Oh, Max has spun. Max is around. Oh, several drivers are around. We've got Zach Mills, and Apple all around at turn 3. I don't know what's happened there, but the 3 drivers have definitely come together. Wonder if they'll have any damage. It is pit stops around here. This track is one of the hardest for pit stops. It's about a 26-second delta loss for a standard pit stop. Add a wing, that's half a minute. So we are at 10-lap sprint race. Boak's getting away nicely. He is currently in the lead with Slipstream second, Big D third. So no changes there between the 3 drivers. We've got 1 DRS straight here at Qatar. Super powerful. Good for about half a second. And this is after lap 20, turn 20. But, a Slipstream goes up the inside of Boak's coming into turn 20. And he will get a lead now. Can he power through to get that DRS split done and break from Boak's? Boak's utilizing his ERS there in overtake, but isn't going to get past our biggest mover so far. Let's have a look at position changes. So we have got Ayrton up 2 places, Red Bull up 3, Billy up 2, Mills retiring in the pit lane today, going not well for him. We've got Red Bull up the inside of George and gets the move done for 5th place. Red Bull progressing up this grid nicely now. Slipstream starting to pull away, 3/4 of a second around about at the end of sector 1. We've got a yellow flag in sector. Oh, no, it's just Mills' retiring car coming back on track. Looked like there was a battle there between Billy and Max. Let's watch this, see how this goes. Slipstream unable to get that advantage that he needed to get to break DRS. But I think the key thing here for the drivers is going to be track limits. This is an insanely hard track for track limits where it's so constantly flowing. Billy right on the back of Max, who is out of DRS. Is he going to keep it? No, he doesn't. And Slipstream holding. Big D and Boke's battling hard here as we go through turn 1 and into turn 2. And the Haas driver, Big Davlar, getting that second position. Ayrton and Red Bull now battling heavily as well. But Slipstream, that's giving him the opportunity now to push forward, see if he can break that gap. I'm wondering if Apple has damage. Yeah, he's missing an end plate. Okay, that would explain the pace. Hopefully he can recover that in the race, feature race. Definitely one of our faster drivers on the grid and currently leading the championship with 40 points. His next best opponent, Billy, is on 25. So, Slipstream now 1.3 seconds ahead of Big Davlar. Max was unable to hold Billy. We've got, oh wow, this is looking interesting. A bit of a train here behind Ayrton. Red Bull, a quarter of a second. George even closer, and that's the first track limits warning. I'm sure there's going to be many tonight. But yep, George right on the back of this DRS train. Billy has got to within DRS, and Max has held it. So this potentially playing well for them. And Billy sets the fastest lap of the race on 1:24.268. Looks like Ayrton is now pressuring Bokes. Bokes has run wide through turn 1, but is that going to give him the line into turn 2? It sure does. This is one of those tracks. Oh, Bokes off. Bokes is off. And this is going to cost him gravely as he goes through the gravel. He is going to plummet. Max getting the second lot of time penalties for track limits. And now Red Bull, double overtake for Red Bull. He's up from 5th to 3rd with Bokes off and Ayrton and getting past Ayrton. So, how far can Red Bull progressing? Oh, we've got a Mercedes around. That is Max. Max is down to 8th position now. Is he still ahead of Bokes? No, but the two will be battling. Bokes will be absolutely gutted. But that is sometimes how the cherry pops. And Bokes getting his first track limits of penalty for track limits. Let's just check. Yep, so we've got 4 out of 10 remaining drivers still or already on track limits. And we're only on lap 4 here. Slipstream pushing ahead. He's still going to be out. He's still got that gap, so no DRS for Big Davlar. Max picking up his second set of track limits, and we're only on lap 4. Oh, that looked wide there from Red Bull, but he is pushing. He knows he's now got to find 3 seconds on these drivers behind him. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and Max has spun it out the last corner, so Red Bull now up to 2nd. We're at the start of lap 5. George has got past Ayrton, and Billy is right on the back of this. It really does look like a 5-car DRS train, but soon to be 6, because Red Bull is now within DRS range of Slipstream, posting faster times as well. Slipstream is going to need to get a move on if he's going to hold off that charge in Aston Martin. Zimar catch it up to the back of this battle. I think he lost some time after Max spun, but he is catching up. Will he be able to get within range of these guys? Obviously 2 ahead of him, having penalties for track limits. If he can keep it clean, this could elevate him a couple of positions quite easily. Excuse me. As it stands, Slipstream currently leading, has done since the start. Red Bull, however, is closing him down, and I would be very surprised to see him behind at the start of the next lap. Big Davlar is falling back. He's 1.8 seconds behind Red Bull already. That's very wide from Red Bull as Slipstream goes defensive. But Red Bull is using his ERS and DRS, which is so powerful down the straight of Qatar. It is for me, a heavier downforce track as we see George getting past Big Davla, Big D. And that is George up to third, Red Bull up to first, but he needs to find 2 seconds in 5 laps on Slipstream. Can he do it? I think with this pace, it is very, very doable, but he is going to need to hold it. Now, Max has retired, so he will be starting the feature race in 10th position. Nice little DRS chase still behind George, the sole remaining Mercedes driver. And that is all the way down now to Zach in 7th. So right now, Billy needing to get a move on here because he is going to be demoted to 7th quite easily. Now, George is on the back of Slipstream. Neither have penalties. Slipstream has not been able to harvest, but George has got 65% battery and he's going to use it. He's going to deploy it. He's on the rear wing of that McLaren and on the race line gets past, no contention. But Big D here using defensive tactics here. Ayrton in the kick Sauber manages to get past and up to P4. Big Davlos slipping down to P5. Billy Muse not being able to really make roads here. I'm surprised. Does the Red Bull driver have some damage? Let's have a look. Oh, wow, yeah, he's missing an end plate. So he is driving out of his sockets here. For me, Qatar is a high downforce circuit. I do run quite a high D. So missing that end plate is going to be affecting his balance so badly. So doing a great job to keep up with the likes of Zach, Dave and Ayrton. But now, George begging himself to stay within 3 seconds of Red Bull. 3 and a bit laps to go. Red Bull needing to find about a second to keep this sprint race victory. Slipstream has already slipped 3.5 seconds in 1.5 laps, so the McLaren driver must be really struggling on those medium tyres. And again, Ayrton is just catching up the McLaren driver. Will he end this up? I don't think so. I think the gap is too big, but we will see. And he doesn't have much ERS in the bank. So let's see. He's going to utilize it. He's deploying it. How low is he going to go? DRS wing wide open. And he has deployed his entire battery. And I think he's gained about half a second. About half a second there. Slipstream would also have been harvesting a bit, but Red Bull just putting away. He's now 3 seconds ahead of George. He's in a league of his own here. Zach still unable to get past the Red Bull of Billy Mew, who is struggling with wing damage to a front wing. I'll be interested to see if Apple can catch up to Boaks. So Boaks with a 3-second penalty. Apple 7.5 behind. It's going to be hard, but not impossible. As we come around the sweeping bends of Sector 2, one thing I love about the track, when you get a lap perfect, it flows. It is just such a flowing track. And when you nail that perfect lap, it's just incredible. Now, Big D, is he going to stay within DRS range? Yes, he does just. It's going to be a case of here. Now, Ayrton has saved up a little bit more, but again, I think he's just too far behind. However, it looks like Slipstream might be closing in on George a little bit. Maybe George is starting to struggle. Ayrton is going for it, and he has got that move done on the McLaren and up to third. Wow. Now, can he start to put some pressure on George for second? We've got 2 laps left here of this sprint race. And Slipstream really falling down the order here. Will he be able to keep the half of Big D and potentially even Billy? Another 3-second penalty for Red Bull. So, Red Bull with 6 seconds, the first driver to get 6 seconds of penalties. And now he's going to have to push because right now he's technically sitting in third. Slipstream down in fourth. He's about 6.6 seconds behind him. But if he can get within the DRS range of Ayrton, and looks like he's just missed out. But it could be close. Let's have a look. Did the McLaren driver get past that line? He did, and he has got DRS though. He may well be able to hold off the likes of Big D as we come into the final lap. Billy Mew, all low batteries. Zach with DRS, but not utilising his EOS, weirdly enough. Okay. So 4 seconds nearly now separates George and Red Bull. It's going to be a tall order to get another 2 seconds in one lap for Red Bull, but I wouldn't put anything past the Aston Martin driver. As Big D picks up a 3-second penalty, he's going to be gutted with that. And Apple is getting his socks on. He's only 4.2 now behind Boakes. Let's see, can he get that place? He only needs to find 1.2, and last time I spoke about it, he was like 5 seconds down. So, very fast driver, probably the fastest in our league. And even with a broken wing, closing in on Boakes. So it looks like George is going to keep within that range for Red Bull. But Red Bull might well only lose 1 place. He down to second behind George. And as Red Bull comes to cross the finish line, he's low on fuel. He takes the checker flag. 4.5 ahead of George. George being very careful there with him, but he is going to claim his maiden sprint race finish here in the Misfits Racing League. Ayrton comes in third, Slipstream fourth. Zach gets promoted to fifth in lieu of not having penalties. Billy got past Dave. Or did Dave have 6 seconds of penalties? And Billy and Boakes are last 2 drivers to cross the line here. So we have our grid for the feature race. So just to clock off there, it was no, Boakes got Apple. Okay, so let's have a look at the results. So it was only about 0.8 of a second difference between Boakes and Apple. But our standings, we've got George who finished first, Red Bull taking the checker flag, but with 6 seconds penalties demoted to second. Ayrton third, Slip fourth, Zach fifth, Billy sixth, Big D seventh, Boakes eighth, Apple ninth, and our non-finishers Max the Rat and Muster. So I believe we will now be making a new lobby, guys. I will wait for people to start leaving, and then we can get the lobby set up for the sprint race.